I think these are just kind of some myths.
Yeah.
You know, like I didn't grow penis.
I don't have a penis.
I don't have a wiener.
Very married. Boss bitch. Boss bitch.
Welcome. We're going to talk today about a hot topic that I get asked quite frequently, almost every time I do a question box. We get asked about it. We talk about it all the time with our athletes, with our clients, and in the studio, fucking perfect strangers, cats, dogs. I feel like I'm talking about it with everybody.
Everybody's got questions.
I don't claim to be the expert. So if you're here for the end all be all, you're in the wrong spot. I'm just have experience through us coaching, working with 2 different clinics,
experimenting with ourselves,
and also, you know, doing my own digging, reading, researching, taking John Jewett's course, you know, really working within the industry for over 10 years. That's all I got. Yeah. All right. So, but in our experience, we deal with a lot of women who need some kind of hormone replacement therapy at some point, generally. Or choose to. I don't say like need. So we're going to talk about that first. Now, hormone replacement therapy is going to be adding in hormones, but not necessarily for bodybuilding purposes. This is just like overall health.
Yeah.
You know, we have some women that are going through menopause. They've had babies or they've had, you know, some other situations in life where their hormones have been disrupted. Maybe they had a hysterectomy or something like that.
So they have one ovary.
Yeah. So we advocate that our clients are proactive in their hormonal health because it's a huge part of your life and how you feel and how you function. And that's what you have to carry with you every day. You don't want to feel like shit every day. So you know, if you're waking up drenched in sweats, your bed is covered in sweat every single night or most of the month or whatever, that's a check engine light.
If you are tired every day, but you're getting some sleep, that's probably a red flag.
Yeah.
If you don't want to have sex with your partner, that's probably a huge red flag.
If everything, and I always say that one very carefully because I'm like, okay, providing you actually like get along with your person.
Yes.
But like if you are genuinely like would love to be intimate with your partner, have sex, get your freak on, but you're like zero desire, nothing.
Dry as the Sahara.
Yeah. Dry, no desire. I just would rather him take care of himself.
No.
Or her, you know, because guys deal with this too.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking about females.
I think this goes for both, for sure.
One, we're going to talk about the pros. So the pros of hormonal therapy, we'll talk about the cons. We'll also give you some different types of hormonal therapy that are out there, just, you know, so you're armed with some knowledge, some stories along the way. So pros of hormonal replacement therapy, if you are experiencing menopausal symptoms. So a lot of our clients, I feel like once they start to hit that 45-ish range, okay, you start experiencing some menopausal symptoms, hot flashes. We were talking about night sweats, vaginal dryness, libido. The word was so big. I was so big it couldn't come out of my mouth. Libido, mood, all those things. The HRT helps tremendously with those things. Okay, improved mood, quality of life, also anxiety. So around your period, do you ever get like that anxious feeling?
Yes. Yeah. I was actually just talking to somebody in the studio about this the other day and she's like, really, I only feel it like the most around my period. And I was like, oh, I should like start thinking about that a little bit more in tune, you know, like as I know when my period comes now, because we're getting one. Yes. Why? Because I'm on HRT, you guys. Yeah. I got my period back. So that's good.
Yeah, that's awesome. We want that. But it does, you know, right before your period, I notice, and I have my clients when they check in, they notice this too. They start to get more anxious, a little more irritable, classic PMS symptoms. Right. But for the most part, they should be tolerable, right? Like you're a little more irritated than usual. Like this was me the last couple days because I started my period this week, speaking of.
Irritated Irene over here.
Yeah, I told her today. I'm like, I just want to let you know, positive Pollyanna, I am irritated Irene. Okay. And she's like, well, I'm grumpy Gretel. Yeah. So, and we're both on our periods. Oh my gosh, imagine that. So you will have that like anxiety-ish, sometimes blue mood, depressive symptoms. And I've always knew when my hormones were out of whack because the premenstrual time for me my ex-husband would always know. Tyson knows,
Tyson
my son,
knows,
because
yes.
he's been around me the most out of all of my kids since I've been homeschooling him. So he'll be like, I think your period's coming. And I'm like, no, it's not coming for like 7 days. And I get all irritated. And
Wrong.
And I swear this kid has called it out 3 times.
That's
like
crazy.
as of late, where sure enough, the next morning, I'm like, motherfucker, you're like your father.
Oh gosh.
So you get a little more anxious. I feel like my heart rate is a little higher.
Oh, I just feel like my heart rate is always
It's like kind of
going. Yeah. I mean, it's just going at what it's going. Even right now, it's not even that high.
Yeah. Well, it helps with all of those things. So I know it's been tremendous. I have clients who have PCOS.
Yes.
And that's incredibly helpful as well. Migraines is another one. Somebody just posted in the comments. I could think of at least 4 of my clients off the top of my head that check in and they're like, migraines, period's coming.
Right.
Talked to one today. She's like, I wasn't sure my period was coming. I woke up with a headache. Boom, there she was. It's so crazy.
So I think that's funny too, is like we get really in tune with that. We start like paying attention and then it's like we're kind of almost like ready for what's coming.
Yes.
And that's kind of a good feeling in one such happening. But also knowing that it's coming is also going to cause anxiety because you're like, oh shit, when is the monster coming?
Yeah.
When is the monster coming?
So I would tell people that before I started HRT and when I know my levels are off and I need to get it checked, it's like, I feel it coming and I know that I'm going to say things that are irrational, typically to a partner, right? Where like something I'm like feeding into something or I'm thinking things that really aren't really like I'm being hyper aware.
Kind of about like what we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing. So totally. Yeah, I get that.
So I would always be like, I just honestly feel like the week before my period, I need to be locked away from people I love because I'm going to rip their heads off.
Okay.
It was that bad.
Okay. And now it's not like that?
It's not nearly as bad. And I couldn't figure out what it was because it got better for a while when I started testosterone in 2013. And then gradually, like my body acclimated to it. You know, we increased the dose a little bit as levels got checked and things like that. But then my progesterone was off.
Right.
That was the problem. Now that I've been on progesterone, everything's balanced. And so the PMS symptoms have like drastically been cut.
Okay. So one thing though is like, how do we know these things? How do we know that these things are off? How do we get them checked? And then like, where do you start?
Well, I went to a clinic that specializes in hormone replacement therapy. So we typically have 2 kind of paths for our clients. And this is where we send them off for hormonal checking because it's not something we can prescribe or any of that
We're
fun
not
stuff.
doctors. We don't prescribe it.
Yeah.
We outsource it to the people that know the thing.
Yes, who went to school for this shit.
Yeah.
So we have a clinic that we work with, which is Magnus. Magnus is more a bodybuilding focused clinic. If I had to give my opinion, they will work with lifestyle clients too. But I feel for me as a coach, I prefer to send all my athletes to them because that is a demographic that they specialize heavily on. Like, what should your hormones look like as a female who is using PEDs and the compounds you're using? Like your labs are going to look very different than like Mrs. Jones, who is just wanting to like optimize her normal hormones, right? So we'll tend to draw our clients that are more athletic based competitors or aspiring competitors that direction. And then our lifestyle clients, we will refer to Dr. Sundermeyer, Dr. Wallace, which they're through a company called Infusion Health. So that's where you start. You know, you have to get your blood work done. I was just talking to a new client today who is kind of merging over with me from a different coach. And, you know, I'm asking her, I'm like, I need full transparency. Like, what are you on? What are your supplements? Because I need to know that as your coach. You know, I don't want to be shooting in the dark here, even if I'm not going to be managing that for you. So she tells me she's been on testosterone and she's not had her labs checked for a year. And I'm like, no. If I was your coach, no. Like, we need to know what that is. competitors, athletes every 3 months, lifestyle clients every 6 months, unless you're experiencing something in between. Sure, then you should likely go in and get that checked sooner or based off of what they suggest. But that's my opinion.
No, I think that is probably the best way to take care of yourself and your hormones. I think a lot of the times that I hear these days with like people is that they just assume that they're supposed to feel like shit now. And that is not true. You should not be waking up feeling like you have to just tear yourself out of the bed. You should want to, have a relationship and sex with your partner. You should, want to go to the gym and things like that and work on yourself. And basically somebody was like, oh, this is just the new norm. And I was like, we are fixing that. We are fixing that. She's already got her labs done. We're just waiting for, her script to get there.
Yeah.
Thyroid was off. Testosterone was barely even on the chart. You can barely do that. So as a woman in general, you have to have testosterone in your body as well. I know that like we don't learn that in school really, I feel like, or maybe I just didn't learn that in school.
No.
But in reality, like you're supposed to have all of these hormones and they're all supposed to work in tandem to make you feel the most best you can. And your body doesn't always do that from the food that you get. You may have to supplement. And I know that people are very wary about supplements, but when you get your labs checked and they're off, supplements are going to be the way that you're going to be able to get those to kind of even out. Then, next step is probably going to be HRT, which is hormone replacement therapy. The doctor's going to tell you that, okay? It's not something that you have to figure out yourself.
Yeah. And there are ways that you can go on, which I think is amazing now because they didn't really have this back in the day where you can actually like go onto LabCorp or Quest website and order whatever labs you want.
Right.
And you can, just
run
it
I
through
think
your
that's
insurance
great.
or pay for it or whatever. And I think that's phenomenal. Because if I really wanted to just know a specific certain thing and I didn't want to run the gamut of things, then I can, I can order that. But to your point, yes, we see a lot of clients that come in to the studio and something to also consider is if you have diet hopped a lot your life, right? Like you diet, you restrict, you're off the wagon, you're kind of eating everything and you go into these big waves. And we see that a lot. And, it tends to be a trend. And then we get clients that have a lot of midsection belly fat, right?
Yeah.
And I'm always you don't want to like suggest things or push things on people because it's like I don't want to make anybody feel a type of way. Right.
Right.
But when I talk to them or they talk to me and tell me what they're looking for, I want to lose weight. I want to see my abs and since that, I'm like, yes, I want that for you too. And I think that that's a valid goal, but there's something else probably going on here.
Yeah.
Based off of the conversations we have. Like, oh, I don't sleep very much. I eat like once or twice a day. Hear that all the time.
Right.
I'm like, there's something else going on that just like starting to work out 1 hour a day and kind of half-assing a little bit of a diet is not going to fix.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like honestly, the longer that I've been coaching people, especially lifestyle clients, and especially being connected to Infusion and Magnus and all of that and starting to learn a little bit about hormones, like I feel like you can tell when somebody's got like, there's something going on extra, right? Like you've got a gluten intolerance, you got candida. Like, not that I can look at somebody and know this, but we can just tell that their body is on fire and they're just waiting to be fixed.
Yes.
And like the way to do that is to get your hormones checked.
Definitely. And I feel like with coaching, this is why I'm not taking any more clients, is because if I could make our check-in sheet 20 questions, I would.
I know you would.
1,000% I would. But I know that it's already, I think it's like 12 questions or something long for our clients when they check in.
And that's just the questions.
That's just the questions. They still have to upload photos and measurements and all that fun stuff. But I don't want to take on any more clients because the quality of coaching will go down, right? Because I am advocating for their health, not only for their fat loss goals or their stage goals, but I'm also like, I'm not going to just pound you with a bunch of fucking steroids just because you want to be a pro. Like we can go that route, but I am also working side by side with you on making sure that you do this a healthy way, because no one's fucking health is worth a plastic trophy. Thank you.
Right. And I mean, even for my lifestyle clients as well, like most of these women are like, I lost 1 pound a week. That's not enough. And I'm like, listen, bitch, like 1 to 2 pounds a week is great. If you do more than that, this is a crash diet. You're going to ruin your hormones even more than they already are. Plus, you're going to rebound so hard when you're like, oh, diet's done. Okay, I'm going to get out of here. I'm done. Thanks.
Yeah.
And then, no shame in it, because I've been there. Then you start gaining weight back, and then you're bigger than you were before, and then you're ashamed, you're embarrassed. And then what you really need to do is ask for help.
Yeah. And I see, we see it time and time again where clients will come into the studio and they're doing all the things and like nothing's working, or they stop working with us on nutrition because they're like, nothing's working. I'm just going to give it a break or whatever. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And they're working out, they're doing a ton of cardio, they're really cutting their food back, and they won't invest in finding out what the fuck's happening, right? So they just keep doing these repetitive behaviors, and it's like insanity. You can just keep doing the things that aren't getting you anywhere. So why don't we just at least like do some detective work? And that's why I'm like, throw a few $100 at it.
Yeah.
Have a consultation with a professional. You don't know what's going on in here. Okay. They're hearing your symptoms. They can then order the labs. Like I have lab slips right here. I have new lab slips to take again. I just had blood done a few weeks ago, based off of your conversations, and then they can uncover potential issues that will have never really known.
Right. So like getting your blood drawn, right? That the whole process for that is going to be, I don't know, what is it? Like $200, $300 maybe?
Yeah. I have my
like
lab
that.
sheets right here.
Yeah.
So
it's like $200, $300. Okay. And like to be able to feel like a human being, it sounds like a lot in the beginning, but once you start to figure out, oh, I really am kind of messed up and I need to have these things fixed. Once you start fixing them, it is priceless. Okay. I think some of just the most important ones, let's go over those so we're not going over the whole thing.
Yeah.
Is testosterone.
For checking labs.
Yeah. Thyroid, T3, T4.
Yes.
And then progesterone. What's the
So my doc has a laundry list of shit. And every time I go in, it's like 13 vials. I don't give a fuck. I'm like, listen, this is my health. If there's something off, especially when I was competing, I'm like, I want to know, because I'm putting my body through a lot right now.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to like I fucking passed out, like it's some serious shit.
Yeah.
Bodybuilding is not a healthy sport.
Not healthy for people at the end.
She kind of consistently runs the same things. When I'm in prep, she'll run some other labs, but it's like comprehensive metabolic panel. You have insulin, so you can see what your sugar levels have been. I believe it's
typically labs are fasted.
Yes. Iodine, which is going to be directly related to thyroid. So, if your iodine is low.
Our favorite one.
Leptin. Yeah, leptin. So she checks my leptin. That's something that we struggle with. That's your hunger hormone.
Yep.
How would I know? I wouldn't know. And when she ran that, I'm like, perfect sense. I want to eat a Volkswagen every single day. Now I know why.
Every meal too. Yeah.
Lipid panel, because a lot of times bodybuilders, which is kind of an interesting phenomenon I've noticed, is that because our diets are so low in dietary fat, we also aren't getting a lot of the good fats. So our good cholesterol is low.
Right.
So that's something that I keep an eye on too, because you don't want to go too low there. T3, T4, reverse T3, that's all thyroid stuff, right? Yep. That's going to affect.
Thyroid is important.
That's going to affect so many things, but definitely what the rate at which you lose body fat, your mood, your body temperature, your hair, your fatigue levels, everything. I remember before I started thyroid medicine.
Yeah.
This is before Tyson was homeschooled. I would get up, take him to school.
And you had to take a nap.
Come back, eat breakfast, drink a full cup of coffee, and I'd go back to sleep until probably about 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
11:30, 1 o'clock, just depending on how long that took. My thyroid was absolutely fucked. So you've got those. Cortisol is another one.
Oh yeah.
Cortisol is super huge.
If you are stressed, you need to get that checked.
Definitely.
Like ASAP.
We have the female hormones that you were talking about. So you have estradiol, FSH, which is follicular stimulating hormone, I believe.
You're so smart, man.
IGF, which is going to just say like how much growth hormone do you have naturally floating around in your body. Mm-hmm. Pregnenolone, which is another hormone. Progesterone.
That's the one I was talking about.
And then you have testosterone. So So yeah, those are the main ones that I get tested every few months. And again, it fluctuates just depending on if I have other stuff going on.
Yeah. And, if we want to like talk about it, there's lots of different ways to do things. So just a couple, I'm on testosterone replacement therapy because I'm literally barely on the chart.
And also Sanctuary Pizza just says we need a pizza. And I couldn't agree more.
How do we get this guy to deliver right now?
Come on. Yeah.
So testosterone, right? There's lots of different ways that you can get this. You're going to be able to speak to your doctor. Obviously, we just told you guys who you could go to, but there are different ways to do this. I believe there is a cream if you are a woman.
Oh, you're talking about how to take testosterone.
How to take testosterone.
Okay.
Because I think that's something that people would probably want to know, right?
Let's just talk about some of these that we...
Just the ones that I normally use.
Right.
So testosterone, there's a couple of different ways that you can do it. You can do a cream, which you basically are. I heard, because I never did the cream, but I heard. So I know that when they tell you to take it, right, they tell you to put it on like your legs and like your
labia,
vagina.
Mm-hmm.
I was listening to something and they said that you should put it on your clit.
Oh, okay.
I just thought I would share that with you.
I appreciate it. Thank you. I'm personally not a huge fan of the cream.
Right.
More specifically, really, I'm just not. But I mean, and you
never know what you're actually taking in.
This is just my experience. I'm not a doctor. I'm just saying over the years of working with my clients who have had HRT that have the cream, it's like a slow process. It has to go through the barriers of the skin. Sometimes it rubs off on clothes. They forget, they don't use enough clicks or it's whatever. So I'm just like, just fucking be a boss bitch your ass up and just give yourself a shot every week.
Okay. So that's
you
the
don't
second
do that.
option.
You don't do that.
I do not do it to myself. No.
I mean, I shoot myself up, but I've also been shooting up bodybuilders too my whole life.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. Yeah, I have somebody else give me a shot. I think it's great. It's a wonderful way to visit my parents.
Her dad does it for her. So testosterone does that. Progesterone, I believe
that's a pill.
Yes, and estrogen too. If you have to be supplemented with estrogen,
not me.
T3, T4, also a pill. Everything I take is in pill form with the exception of the testosterone.
Honestly, for a lot of ladies too, I've had a few clients that have been getting off birth control recently. If you have been on birth control since you were 14, you need to get your labs pulled, please.
I'm so glad you said that.
And if you can find a way to not be on hormonal birth control, that would be your best bet and first place to start.
Scream that from the rooftop.
I'm trying, okay?
Somebody asked, do you go to a functional medicine doctor for these labs?
Yes.
Then the next question, which is actually great and related, is not all doctors will prescribe this. You are correct.
No.
And I fight that shit because I'm like, great.
If you are trying to get your insurance to cover this, most likely they will not help you.
Yes.
We pay out of pocket to go to a functional doctor to have said things.
To have access to that. And
yes.
They're functional med. They're going to be, they have expertise in broader, realms in terms of medicine. And I'm not saying that like PCPs don't or primary care don't, but you have to think when it's functional medicine, they're looking like for preventative care. They're working more towards that. They're also obviously physicians and skilled in, acute care and things like that. Like let's put out the fire.
Yeah.
So they're, it's not like you're going in and like, they just, here you go, here's a vial and some syringes. Like it's a consultation. If you work with Infusion Health, they get on a Zoom with you and it's like an hour long and they're going through your whole fucking health history. And it's, it's intense. And I think it's amazing. It's
probably one of the best things we ever did.
Yeah, literally it's changed my life. We kind of got off track a little bit.
We did?
We were talking about the pros of hormonal therapy.
We would never do that.
I know.
Okay.
Crazy thought.
I mean, more muscle.
Yes.
More muscle means you burn more calories. Okay, you feel stronger. That gives you more motivation.
Yeah.
These are just mine.
Yes. There are also some other health benefits. So it's protecting against osteoporosis. So as we age, I know that's something we don't think about.
Is that bones?
Yes. Yes, that is bones.
I'm so smart.
It's not something we think about usually when we're, younger, but like I'm getting to be 45 and shit. So I'm thinking about that stuff. Also, it reduces the risk of some cancers. So those are the pros. Now the cons, because I get often asked this as well, like, okay, so, what are going to be the side effects or like the negative implications or whatever? There are some increased risks of cancers and other forms. So while it can prevent others, there can also be increased risks. So that's why it's important to work with somebody like a functional medicine physician instead of just going and getting from the homie at the gym and just shooting yourself up. Because if there's family history of certain cancers, physicians are going to know that and they're going to, advise against it. So super important for that. Heart disease too, that can also be something that can increase as well. You see this mainly in people who are excessive with their consumption.
Yes.
Bodybuilders. Okay.
There's a difference between using a hormone replacement therapy and abusing HRT and steroids. Okay. There's a difference.
So you have that risk. So some heart attack stuff, stroke stuff, blood clots.
It's not the cheapest. And if you don't like shots, you have to go visit your parents once a week. So there's that.
Yes. So there's some cons to that. And I'm sure there's more on either end of that.
Yeah.
Okay.
In reality, though, just to kind of like talk about the testosterone, you get a vial, that thing lasts for a long time. So it is not as expensive as you think, especially considering how good you're going to feel once your body is working the way it's supposed to work.
Yes. Now, when you started, like, what were some of the things that you noticed? And then I'll talk about some of the things that I noticed with testosterone.
When I noticed?
Yeah. Like, what do you notice? Pros, cons, whatever.
I feel like I had more energy. I feel like I was stronger in the gym. I really don't feel like I have anything that's been bad.
Okay.
I don't feel like I felt anything.
Okay. So I've been on it. I believe I've been on it since 2013.
Okay.
Maybe not that long, but I've been on it for quite some time. And I definitely noticed massive energy improvement.
Oh, yeah.
That and alongside, I started also the thyroid meds kind of around the same time, I want to say. So the combination of the both, massive improved quality of sleep, which is so important, right? It kind of helped me balance my sleep out too, because of the night sweats and all that fun stuff.
Say I am sleeping much better.
Yeah, testosterone will do that to you. My favorite is my fucking sex drive has been off the chain for years now. And that's the only thing that really changed prior to that. Because prior to that, I would have been fine with like once a week and that would have been fine. And now I'm like, I could do that shit every single day, multiple times a day. Just saying.
Yeah,
it's great for the libido.
Yeah, we know.
Or,
okay,
just visit some of the After Dark.
Oh, wait, that's great.
And also, I didn't experience like some girls freak out about like they're going to get like acne or like all this. Didn't happen to me.
You want to know something
because my levels were low.
Do you want to know something that's funny?
What?
Remember when I quit my testosterone and then my face did fucking break out?
Yes, that was weird.
Wow, that's fucking cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was great.
So I think these are just kind of some myths.
Yeah.
Like I didn't grow penis.
I don't have a penis.
I don't have a wiener.
Very married.
And also the cons, I say for me, I think it's just like anything else. It's annoying that I have to remember to take it once a week, but it's better than doing the stupid cream. I would be so annoyed with that shit. Actually, I think I did the progesterone cream. My facial hair grows at an exponential rate.
You're hairy.
But I'm also Portuguese.
You're hairy anyway.
So there's that.
I literally have one chin hair that you always find it, but it's like one a year.
Yeah. But you know what? I feel like it hasn't got any worse. However, when I do add other compounds that we're going to talk about, some other PEDs.
We'll get a little bit deeper, y'all. So hang out if you're waiting for that. It
definitely is a situation. I think too, just from doing it for so many years, if like I go back and I listen to some of my old YouTube videos and I like listen to myself now, I'm like, my voice is definitely more sultry.
I don't believe that is from the HRT.
I don't know. I mean, it could just be a correlation, but yeah, I think, I can't imagine not doing it now. Okay. So let's talk about some side effects of HRT because I know we still got to get into the steroid talk.
I know we're still talking about this.
Yeah.
We're ready for PEDs.
Some common side effects of hormone replacement therapy. And I've experienced these. She's jiggling her mangoes over here or her melons.
Breast tenderness.
Breast tenderness. So that can be a side effect. I
I
noticed
feel
this.
like I feel it around my period, but that's probably like my period anyways, right?
Yes, but I also think it's the progesterone kind of heightens it around period time a little
Okay.
bit. I could be wrong. Some people get headaches. Some people get nauseous. I haven't experienced that. Mood changes.
I think I'm nicer because I get more sex. Because
True.
I want more.
So see, it's how you frame it. But I do feel like there have been times when I'm like, I feel like I'm a little more irritable, but it usually comes in tandem with, again, other compounds that I'm using, other PEDs, and also being in prep, and you're just a fucking cranky asshole anyways at some point in prep.
Mm.
Yeah, yes. Okay. Bleeding. So I did notice some breakthrough bleeding when I started progesterone, which is highly irritating because it literally cock blocked me for half the month. Quite literally. So that's an issue, but we've got it worked out since.
She's good.
I'm good.
We're back to business.
Better. Bloating. So when you add in new compounds like testosterone, anything hormonal,
So,
you can anticipate that it is going to cause some disruption in your water balance.
yeah. And I think I get this question a lot too. They're like, am I going to gain weight when I start it? And I'm like, you might. Like, it might be a little fluctuation on the scale, but it's not like you gained 3 pounds of fat overnight. It's not. It's your body working through this new supplement that you're starting to take.
Exactly. There's an adjustment period. So those are the main things that we hear about. We had some people drop some.
We did actually. The question was, when do you take your labs around your period? Yes. I don't know the answer.
So I take my labs. So I think I've done it. I do it the week before my period. So you want to be very specific with that. They will tell you, they being like
the doctor.
Yes, but I know Dr. Sundermeyer, Dr. Wallace, they're great about letting you know, like, I want you to take this on day XYZ of your cycle.
Yeah.
Usually I think it's day like 18 to 21 or something like that. So girls, ladies, women, if you are not tracking your periods, what are you even doing?
So I used to not know this because I didn't have a period, but now I have a period and it's almost like on time and doing well. So
it's the most fantastic thing.
The thing is if you don't know because your period is irregular, that is definitely the time that you should be tracking it because we need to know that.
Yes. Somebody says, I want testosterone. My sex drive sucks. Yes.
Go do that. Go do that. Run.
So what did you just say? Sorry, I was distracted by shiny objects.
I got distracted about her running for sex right now.
You were saying something. What were you just talking about?
We were talking about your period.
Yes. But it's so nice to know.
I was saying, if your period is not regular, that is the time that you need to start tracking it because hopefully you're going to get your hormones tested and we're going to want to know those things.
Yeah. And you'll notice a pattern.
Yep.
Even if your periods are irregular and you start tracking them in the app, you'll start to notice a pattern and the app starts to get intuitive with your cycle and it'll start to predict when it's coming. And I'm like, this is fucking weird.
It's usually on it by like a day or two.
Yes.
Usually.
So it's really great. Now, it's not only great for you to have that just information in general. So you know, like, hey, okay, my period's coming, or like you want to plan, I don't know, something. And you're like, I don't want to do it that week because I'm on my period. But this is going to sound fucking nuts, but you know, I'm kind of goes with the territory. When I know my period's coming, I will write it in my planner. Okay.
Well,
like at the top, period. Mine is 5 days like clockwork.
Basically no dates.
Okay. Yes. That is numero uno.
She's on timeout.
Okay. This is going to sound terrible. You ready?
I can't wait.
This is also the time when I'm like, I'm on my period. I'm not going to be fucking. So this is a free week for me to have dinner with my friends. I love you all. I love you all very much. For
carving out a week for us, you fucking bitch.
No problem. I mean, I still see you guys, but I'm just like, I can commit.
Our friends at the gym are like, where's your friend?
I know.
I'm like, she fucking bounced on me.
And also too, if you know that you're generally like feeling a type of way, like I know.
Because your period is coming.
Because my period is coming.
You just like, shut up, bitch.
I know,
You're
like
fine.
I'm exhausted. I know I just came back from Vegas, but I'm not even gonna lie. I had to nap today and I had to nap yesterday. And I'm like, what is wrong with me?
So
I'm on my period.
I think it also goes to show, like, even some ladies, I know that we have like birth control, right? We were talking about that a little bit.
Mhm.
You probably don't have a period. What I would suggest to you, especially even like my older ladies that are like in menopause, what you want to do is probably like track your ghost symptoms. Like, I'm feeling irritable. I'm feeling extra hungry. And if nothing is out of kilter besides the fact that you might be having a ghost period or you're feeling bloated, these are good things to know. Okay.
Yeah.
So keep track of shit because we're women and we're adults and we should know shit about our body.
Let's talk about drugs.
Can I have one?
You want some drugs?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's talk about drugs.
Just
So
kidding, y'all.
the real reason why you're here, no,
It's mints.
it's mints. Anabolic steroids in bodybuilding, also known as PEDs, which stands for physique enhancing drugs. I'm not going to go through like a laundry list of PEDs. I'm not even really going to dive into super specifics with that. It's going to be just like a very broad kind of overview.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
If you are a competitor
Uh-huh.
in bodybuilding, specifically more like the NPC division, I know WBFF, I think as well, isn't a drug tested federation. But if you are in bodybuilding, this comes with the territory. Okay. Now, I'm not saying that this is everybody's territory.
Right.
However, it is highly likely that competitors that you will be competing against will be enhanced in some way, shape, or form, even as low as the bikini division.
Yes.
Actually, it's rampant in the bikini division.
You do not have to do PEDs to compete. Okay, friends?
No. Have I? Yes. Have I always? No. I was incredibly against it. I had, I stood on my soapbox and I was like, I want to take pride in the fact that I did this naturally. You guys, I'm just giving you my story and just my opinions, okay? I want to take pride in the fact that I did this naturally. I didn't need drugs. I'm going to just work hard, so on and so forth. Great. First show, the peelest I ever got my whole ass life because my coach said, here's your meal plan. Don't eat anything that's not on here. And I was like, aye, captain. And I did not, right?
How did you do that?
I don't know because I can't do that shit anymore. So it was phenomenal. That was the last time I ever got that lean. That was the last time my prep was ever that easy.
You know what? I feel like that with my first show too.
Yeah, because your body's like,
it was ready to party.
It was ready. And like, I hadn't extreme dieted before then. So it wasn't like I was eating 1,000 calories going into prep. I mean, I was needed to lose some body fat.
Gotcha.
So didn't do any of that. But at some point, I reached what I felt was like muscle maturity, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
Like I've been doing this for, a lot of years. Muscle growth is very, very slow after a certain period of time. I was doing really well as an amateur, and my coach was just like, all right, like we need to go to nationals. You need to find the biggest guy in the gym. And here's a list of steroids you need to get. And I was like,
oh gosh.
Do you remember that story?
I believe maybe, but yes. Okay.
Yeah.
I cannot think of telling somebody to do that. That's fucking crazy.
And mind you, I'd never met the guy, right? So as I hired him and he was in another state and I won the Tahoe overall. And I was natural. And I think the only thing I'd really done was a cleanse, was like a fat burner, right?
Mm-hmm.
Great. He sends me this and then he gets in my head about it. And he was just like, none of the pro figure girls are natural, blah, blah, blah. And I fought with him. I remember arguing with him back and forth over Snapchat because that's how we communicated, right?
Uh-huh.
Long story short, I ended up firing that coach for other reasons.
Please. This is all sounding very sus.
Oh, yeah. No, he got super inappropriate with me.
This is all very
super
sus
inappropriate.
right now.
I was still teaching pole, and he said some shit to me, and he started telling me about how he doesn't have sex with his wife.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
And
anyways, back to the drugs.
Anyways, drugs. Sorry. We'll save that story for another day. And so he kind of put that in my head. And then when I hired my next coach who has Olympians and things on stage,
yeah,
I just felt like I trusted him more and we had conversation and things. And he explained to me like, you're going to be hard pressed to find a figure pro or anyone who's going to turn pro without being on anabolics.
Okay.
In the figure division.
Right.
And he was like, they're even doing a bikini, blah, 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 blah. So that's when I started dabbling. I was already doing TRT. So I was essentially like, I wasn't increasing it or anything, but I was already kind of on testosterone, which is technically a steroid. But I did add other compounds in. So prior to getting my pro card, and obviously my pro debut,
yeah,
I was using steroids.
Oh.
Mm.
I didn't know.
What? Shut your face.
Kidding.
Yeah. So So with that being said, it's not for everybody. I don't advocate it for everybody. I just think that in the reality is that for you to go far in bodybuilding in the NPC or IFBB, it's very rare for you to do that naturally.
I'll tell you right now, though, if you are a competitor, I urge you to grow as much as you can as a natty bodybuilder, as a natural athlete, because that is when you get newbie gains. You don't need to like push that anymore in the beginning because you never know what you can gain if you haven't done it before.
Yes.
So do that first. If you're really curious, start with the TRT and then continue to grow on your own. And then, you know, maybe if you decide you want to continue on, then get your labs done and seek out somebody that can make sure that you are at top tip health before you go into a cycle or any kind of PED cycle.
Yeah.
Ever.
It's funny because people have asked me in my stories if I have my son on steroids.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so funny to me because I'm like, well, why would I do that?
Yeah.
He's not like my little human guinea pig.
Yeah.
He takes creatine and ashwagandha. Okay.
Yeah.
He stacks creatine and ashwagandha.
So funny.
But he's religious about
that.
it. You know, like he's homeschooled, first of all. So he has a lot of time on his hands. And he lives in the gym. He works at the gym. He works for a meal prep company. Like he is the perfect setup to be a bodybuilder. I know.
I'm like jealous. I'm like, I need to just follow little brother around all day.
So it's like maximize your genetic potential. If you've only been training under a year, under 2 years, you have not maximized your physical potential. And, you know, see how far you can get with that natural before you decide to go anabolic. If that's your decision, but you can still compete and do natural shows
and do well
and, you know, just have that as your course of action for bodybuilding. There are still people that do natural shows that fucking do steroids.
Oh yeah.
They just don't get caught. Or if they get caught, it's after the fact and they've already won the show and like the blood test comes in late or the polygraph or whatever they do for testing. Different federations have different ones. And then they announce it. This is what I've heard. I was dating a natural bodybuilder. Well, I don't know. Dating's a strong word, but my other Boston friend.
Yes.
And he had done we had like the same amount of shows and he was like, oh, I just have one more show to catch up to or something. And so he done 15, 16 shows, all natty. And he was like, yeah, these guys still do steroids. It's just that they publish it later on the site. Whoever came up,
was
like
second, that
used,
was clean.
Right.
Is now first.
Yes.
I see.
Whatever federation he was competing in.
Yeah,
I don't
whatever.
know how much validity there is to that, but
Interesting.
It's not the first time I've heard that.
Let's talk about, are we still talking about pros?
Yes.
Okay. Man, I feel like they're all great.
She's telling her friends to do steroids.
No, I'm not.
No. So there are, the reasons why people use or women in bikini and, the experience that I have, figure and wellness, use anabolic steroids is the obvious is muscle mass, right?
Yes.
Bodybuilding keeps getting more freakishly muscular, even in the bikini divisions and, well up into men's bodybuilding.
Yeah.
Mr.
It's
Olympia.
Getting very competitive, very mature muscle on these competitors, and, maybe some of them did have some help with some PEDs.
Yeah. And, let's be real, your bodybuilding, you're being judged on your physique and it's about muscularity relative to that division. So if people get greedy or they win a show and they're like, I want more. Like, what can I do? Give me more. It's an addictive sport.
It is.
It can be an addictive sport. And so, putting on muscle size, you see these crazy meathead looking dudes that just aren't even, I dated one, like they don't even look real. I dated several. They look like statues, right?
They do look like statues.
And it's great and it's amazing and it's incredible what their physiques have done, but it's not realistic.
No.
Like they're not just eating protein and drinking creatine. It's not happening. Even some of these bikini pros or amateur bikini girls.
I feel like that's a thing too, is like women will look at a picture of a girl and be like, okay, I want her body. And I'm like, okay, well, that's probably like maybe some testosterone, maybe a BBL, like
maybe some Anavar.
You got to be honest about what you think, maybe she's eating cod for fucking 5 months, if you're not willing to do that, that body ain't coming to you.
No.
No.
So that there's that. There's the increased muscle mass. Well, when you have increased muscle mass, what else do you get to do? You get to eat more food.
Yeah.
Because it takes more calories to sustain that muscle mass. It doesn't mean you're going to put on body fat, but you burn more calories at rest. So you have to keep up calorically to maintain that muscle. Your body does not want to keep that muscle. It's calorie expensive. It's energy expensive. So in order to keep it, you have to continue to annihilate it. Okay. And it's a never ending process. So anabolic steroids obviously aid in that process. You'll get stronger clearly by the nature of being on anabolics. And also it does help in some capacities with endurance. And I feel like muscular endurance.
Oh,
you know,
so like to last longer?
Yeah. Last longer while you're training.
I feel like my training's always lasted really long. It's like, how long can I last on this Stairmaster?
Oh God.
That's the question.
Yeah. Well, the other thing that it's great for is recovery. So this is a lot of times why you see bodybuilders in the gym 6 days a week. One, because we're neurotic assholes.
That's one.
And we want to, make every muscle look like it just was on a statue. So we're trying to chisel it from like every fucking ankle.
Okay? I know your shoulders look pretty good today.
They were a little striated
They're pretty
this
nice
morning.
today.
So anabolics assist that. So when you take steroids, your body recovery is so much quicker than somebody who's natural. So some of my more natural girls, or they're not doing heavy compounds, I have them in the gym 5 days a week at max.
Yeah.
Sometimes some of them 4. And I'm like, how's your body feeling? And if I'm noticing that they're beat up, it's like, okay, you're natty. Let's pull a day back or something,
right.
Just kind of depending on how their recovery is going.
Yeah.
But I think sometimes too, just with TRT, not even touching anything else.
Yeah.
You have these are also pros.
Yes, for sure.
Yes.
100%.
Now the cons, there are definitely obviously your health implications we already talked about with hormone replacement therapy are very similar to that with anabolic steroids. But with moving into anabolic steroids that are not for hormone replacement therapy, so we're talking the Anavars, the Winstrals, all the other compounds that people are using to get huge as fuck.
Yeah. Like the Trend twins.
Yeah, yes. If you're a female, do not fuck with Trend. Do not do that. Do not fuck with D-ball.
No.
Like Mastron, there's just a whole
don't do
list
any of that
of things.
stuff.
Masculinization is typically
that's a big word.
The first thing when you start getting into some heavy PEDs.
Heavy PEDs is going to be
or the wrong ones.
Deeper voice.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite, an enlarged clitoris. I wanted to say that.
That's
so bad.
my favorite.
Yours is the next one.
What? Oh, body hair. Yes, body hair, which is
I'm not hairy at all.
I'm currently on a very conservative cycle of anabolics right now because I have my birthday goal, my June hottie toddy event that we're going to where I'm going to be basically naked the whole time. So, I'm gonna be 45. I want to be looking good. I look good and I feel good now, but a little
great.
extra, a little saucy. So adding in a smattering of compounds, my chin hairs have doubled.
Okay.
But my sex drive is also doubled.
Yeah. I mean, if you guys are curious, I'm taking Accutane, which means no PEDs, no bodybuilding supplements. However, I am allowed to continue to take my testosterone. So luckily for me, it's working. My face is looking good. We're having a good time.
Yes.
So things are going well.
Yeah. I'm happy for you. We're in a smooth flow right now.
Yeah.
Some other things that happen by way of adding in anabolic steroids that are not compounds that are naturally made by your body, right, is possibly changing your normal hormonal balance. So your other hormones can then get out of whack because you're tossing in new ones. So some things that happen are we have girls that lose their periods. I don't typically lose it. I don't lose it for very long. It's like a month, but generally the last 4 or 5 shows I've done, which I have been using PEDs. I also use an estrogen blocker, for being real, at the tail end of prep to dry out my backside a little bit more. That's very common. The tie-ins, the backside are a challenge for women to bring that in tight. So granted, number one, you have to be lean enough. If you're not lean enough, it don't fucking matter.
Yeah.
So I know classically my body gets to a certain point, I start to look super lean. I'm having veins in my abs. I don't have a name for my vein, I don't think, but
Bob.
I have a vein.
He's almost here.
I have striations maybe like on my upper glutes, but like that spot right underneath my glutes that separates the hammies, the tie-in area, soggy.
No,
not soggy. It's just like it's watery. It's not tight. So that's when I'll throw in an estrogen blocker. So that will affect my normal hormones. So that's why when you come out of prep, your body's like on fire.
100%.
It's like, fuck, I need to re-regulate and all the shit. And if you're, doing PEDs, you got to give yourself some time to bounce back for that. But a lot of girls will lose their periods adding in compounds. And also this can potentially add fertility issues. So if you're childbearing age, you still want to have babies, you might want to wait on your bodybuilding career until after you're done with that if you plan on using any kind of PEDs. So there's that.
Yeah.
Okay, other health things, heart disease we talked about. Liver.
This is my favorite one.
The liver?
No, the last one.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So liver. So that's one that we keep an eye on very closely.
Yes.
Anabolics will do that. There are also some other things will naturally raise your liver values. Every time I meet with my doc and she goes over my stuff, she's always like, did you work out prior to your labs or whatever? I'm like, yeah. She goes, okay, well, I think it's my ALT and AST or something like that. They're elevated, totally normal. Usually they're elevated if you've worked out within 3 days of your labs. They'll tend to be up if you had a hard workout. Well, I'm not going to not work out for 3 days.
No.
Before I get my labs done. Sorry, it's not happening. So she just knows like what my levels are at. So, but with PEDs, that is also potential. So we always add in preventative things for that with our clients.
Absolutely.
So all my clients are on some kind of liver care supplement and, they're taking the precautions for that and getting their blood work tested. Their blood tested, I should say.
Yeah.
Your favorite? Go ahead.
Overall, it's illegal, friends.
Oh,
you might not want to do that.
We forgot about that.
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
Yeah.
So, yes, it is not legal. I guess
I'll sell steroids, okay?
question would be if it comes as a prescription, it's a script, right? From a doctor. So that's your best bet to go. Do not buy it from Johnny on the corner or Dawn in the gym. Okay, don't be doing that. All right, that's probably a bad idea. Just because you want to make sure that you're getting quality supplements, if anything, and making sure that it wasn't made in somebody's bathtub.
Yeah, and if you guys have questions and you're kind of hitting, sitting here, go ahead and there's a question box there. You can plug them in and we'll answer them. We're kind of wrapping up here anyways, but yeah, to Amanda's point, when I take on new athletes, I'm like, okay, where are you getting your stuff from? Because I've had some nasty shit. Where I've taken it and I'm like, this is bad quality stuff. I break out, I've broke out with like back acne and shit like that. And I've been doing this long enough to know that like good quality Anavar should not have me breaking out.
Yeah.
Some of the other things that I've used, there's been times when I've been in a pinch and like my doctor couldn't get me my testosterone. Like I just got my new shipment today, but I couldn't get my test in time. And so I was like, I needed like a couple shots because it was like a process and I had to like my labs to be read and all that shit,
right. And then it has to come.
And so like I took a couple shots from an ex-boyfriend who like knew a person and he like had a good quality person. And I'm like, this is terrible. It's leaving knots. And also like I'd break out. And it was because it was either diluted with something, blended with an oil that just didn't set well with my particular, setup, but nasty. Okay. Somebody asks,
what happens to your body when you stop taking steroids?
You turn into a pile of goo.
No, stop.
It depends on the steroid.
I'm going to assume, like, let's talk about it. You're probably going to lose some definition. You're probably going to put on some body fat. You're probably not going to feel like you want to be a bunny rabbit and hump all the time.
Right.
So, I mean,
the thing with hormonal therapy and something that I urge you all, if this is something you're considering doing or you are doing, is especially when it comes to testosterone, is you don't just want to stop that stuff cold turkey, right? Because I have been with many a man who has done some kind of hormonal therapy, whether it's testosterone or they're doing steroids, right? And when you're with somebody enough, you can see their temperament, the things that normally get on their nerves when they're stressed, kind of how they react to certain things. And so you see patterns, right?
Of
I'm
course.
very observant. When I'm with somebody, when I have a partner, I'm very I absorb their energy, right? Like
You're
that's the thing.
welcome.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm so glad you have a yellow sunshine aura.
You're welcome.
So when there would be shifts in their steroids,
Yeah.
I knew.
You could tell.
I always knew.
Yeah.
And a lot of times when I was dating a bodybuilder and he wasn't on a cycle and he was like coming off of something, like not in prep.
Right.
Terrible. Like he'd cry very easily. He was very emotional. And this, if you have depressive episodes or you have a lot of like anxiety or things like that, if you mess with hormones, it 100% affects your temperament.
Right.
So you have to be aware of that when you go off of something. So, but yeah, I mean, what you said is basically nailed it.
Right.
Your strength is going to come down. The density and the hardness of your muscles is going to come down. You can't eat as much because you're not burning it off as much with the muscle that you aren't.
Had.
Yeah. And there's a point where you can sustain a good portion of that. But if you've been doing steroids, and this is just my philosophy, I'm not a doctor, so I could be wrong. If you've been doing steroids and you surpassed what your body should be capable of genetically, right? Like you see some of these crazy looking bodybuilders.
Yeah.
When they stop, how are they going to be able to sustain that and maintain that? Their body's like, nope, this is not where we want to be. Right. And we don't have the compound to maintain that anymore. You're like, what the fuck are you talking about?
No, keep going.
The steroid. And you're not going to, like I said, you're not going to have the strength to keep up with that anymore.
I just keep thinking about taking a pin and just like, and they go,
yeah. So naturally,
and then they lose all of their muscle, and it like pops it like a balloon.
Right. I mean, like, look at Arnold Schwarzenegger. Okay, fucking love Arnold. Right. Like, just not
Arnie,
the politics stuff,
Arnie.
but like the bodybuilding side of things. Right. If you look at him now I think he's in his 70s, and you saw him in his prime.
Yeah.
Obviously, between there is the aging process. But he is significantly smaller. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
But he's also significantly better looking than most 70-year-old men.
Definitely.
So that goes to show that maybe it's not a bad idea.
Yes. So yes, your muscles will not forever and ever remain the same.
No. But I mean,
darn it.
That's even if you stop.
But I think that's
stimulating
also
your muscles.
True. But I also think too that this is the curse of bodybuilding because it's addicting.
You just want to be bigger and better and stronger.
Yeah. Like I love, not even gonna lie, I love being in the gym today, just peacocking my ass around in my sports bra,
and your pink
and my
barely shirt there,
and my shorty shorts, and I'm just like, I know my way around here. Like I don't need any help, and I just like do my thing, and people are just staring, and I'm like,
have you seen you today? Did you post your outfit today?
Top of the morning.
I think that's the problem. You should post your outfit.
Yeah,
today.
It's a whole ass snack. I'm a snack today.
Her whole ass is out too, y'all. If you
the cheeks, everything. So I don't know. That had nothing to do with what we're talking about, but basically, like, you just the problem is, as I feel like once you start steroids, it's like a gateway, and you have to be very careful, and you have to have a good coach in your corner who's going to be like, we are not doing drugs right now. Okay. How many people have I told? I've had to say, we have to stop that.
Oh, okay.
Shit. You have surpassed. I've had clients. I've had multiple clients over the years where I've said, okay, you are outgrowing said division you're in. Yes. If you keep doing this, I know you love to train. I know you love to hit a back day and a bicep day and an all this day. You're turning massive. We're now not going to be in said division. We're going to have to move you to the next division.
Too big for the division. And I'll tell you, when you go up to the next division, it's harder to get leaner.
It's harder
to get leaner, y'all.
But then the other thing too, sorry, my brain is like,
go ahead.
So going
You're
off.
on it right now.
The other thing too is if you're between divisions, so let's just say like wellness
and bikini
and bikini, right? Yeah. You're between the two, right? You're kind of like well-kini is what we call it.
Yeah.
if you are just like, well, I want to just train everything to train everything because you like hitting biceps and triceps or whatever.
Yeah.
And you think just having more muscle is going to be better when you compete everywhere. False.
Yeah.
False.
Very false.
Let me tell you, I have girls I put on stage that do very, very well. And I have had to take them and have them rethink the process in that we're not just trying to have the biggest muscles everywhere.
Yeah.
If you are, if you're wellness and you already have a figure sized back and shoulders and arms, no.
You can't do your upper body.
We're not going to train that. Like,
no.
I have an athlete right now, Kate. She's not done upper body, and I can't even tell you how long. We're probably coming up close to a year at this point.
I believe
her body looks better and better, and is more wellness than it was when she
more wellness
when she got her pro card.
Yeah.
So you have to be smart about that, and just know, like, if you're on drugs, you're gonna want to do all the things because you're gonna love how your body looks jacked. And if you don't want to compete, great, do that. But if you want to compete and you want to be good, you better know that division that you're training for, so that way you're not doing dumb shit to build muscles where you don't need them.
Truth.
Boom. I think that's it.
Wow.
I was ranty today.
I told you
it was going to be ranty.
Yeah, we knew you were going to be a little bit of a.
I was extra earlier.
Irritated, Irene.
I was extra ranty earlier, though.
I think we did well. I don't think it was too ranty today. Could have been way worse.
Yeah.
I think we got most of the rants out earlier.
Yeah. The reality of it is I didn't want to talk about this for a very long time.
Right.
On the podcast. Because I'm like, I don't want people thinking that I'm advocating that, or I think that they should do that. When I start new clients, give them the talk every time. I'm like, listen, I'm going to shoot it to you straight. This is bodybuilding. I'm not fucking around here. So I don't say it like that. But I'm like, let's just be honest. Let me just get the elephant out of the room. If you are wanting to do steroids, or you think that might be a path you want to take, I need to know now. Don't tell me this when you're looking at your body getting lean and you have no muscle or whatever, as we peel back body fat, that you want to do it. It's too late now.
Right.
So you need to let me know now, because I need to guide you the right direction for that to happen. So you don't just try to do it on your own, or Google it, or fucking look at, T Nation or whatever people are doing these days. So that's the talk I have. And I've always been like, I don't really know that I want to talk about it on the podcast.
Right.
I ain't trying to get shade. I'm not trying to act like I know all the things, but I can't not talk about it anymore.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like it is big in the industry. It's also, I think the more that, not that we brought this shit up, but the more that we talk about it, the more that I'm hearing from other people and women that they're getting their hormones checked.
Good.
And we're pushing it. And I think that's great. And if you haven't done that yet, do it. If your friends haven't done it yet, I push you to urge them to do it as well. Because y'all deserve to feel good. You deserve to wake up every day and be like, yeah, I fucking feel great.
Yeah.
All right. And if you're feeling like trash, we need to figure out why. Let's figure out what's happening inside so we can figure that out and make it much better for you.
Yeah. It's a better quality of life. My ex-husband just posted a comment here.
He's talking shit.
What did he say?
I don't know. Something stupid. I tend to be more aggressive when eating and waiting to eat. How do you turn
Wanting to eat. Oh, how do you turn it off when coming off of hormones? I actually think he's being serious.
Is he?
Yeah.
I'm just hungry and grumpy when I want to eat all the time.
Well, when you come off hormones, I feel like I'm hungrier on hormones. I feel like it.
I think
because I'm exerting more, I'm training harder, I'm just overall feeling more like a bad bitch, and I'm just hungry.
No, I feel like I'm more hungry when I'm coming off of hormones. And I know that this is something that I say all the time, but I just don't eat unless it's food time.
Yeah. Well,
and that it's difficult, but it's
like you have to kind of come up with other coping strategies. I hate to say coping strategies, but like if you're, you're just going to overeat or whatever because the food's there and you're just like, you can't, I
have to leave sometimes.
Yeah. You feel unsatiated. It's like, it's like ding, 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 it's gone, boom. And like not continue to serve myself more food. I got to get the fuck out of the kitchen.
Yeah.
I kind of have like triggers for that when I know, as long as I don't get into one of those blackout modes where I just ate a bunch of shit. I don't really remember.
Remember when we were talking about this? This was a long time ago, but I haven't had a moment like that
Oh my God.
in
you
a
haven't.
long time.
Because you haven't been competing in a long time, bitch.
Thank God.
Listen, we're not trying to tell you not to compete, but bodybuilding is an extreme sport. There's no doubt about it. Okay. It may not look extreme. The shit we do doesn't look real cool. We're just like picking weights up and putting them down. Okay. But it is extreme. It is extremely hard mentally. It's extremely hard physically.
It's hard on your family.
Relationally, like socially, it's very hard. So, I'm not saying I've never played any other sport, so I can't, or done any other sports. I can't be like, oh, I think it's the hardest sport around. I play, I don't know. But in my head, if you're playing a different sport and you like go to practice and you do the things and you're perfecting your craft at sports, you still can eat whatever the fuck you want and fuel yourself for said activity. Nobody cares what you really look like, right?
Right.
You're going to be eating for performance. You're going to be eating to execute the plan, whatever your sport is. In bodybuilding,
aesthetics.
It's not that. The sport is lift the fucking shit, do the cardio, and also strip down to insanely low levels of body fat. And also try to be a human at the same time.
These people I know are getting down to like 4, 5, and 6% body fat, you guys. That is fucking nuts.
Yeah. And
nuts.
I think I try to talk more people out of competing than into competing because I don't want to take on people who are just not serious.
Right.
And I never understood that. I never understood that about my first coach because I don't know if I told you the story about how I walked in the supplement store with 2 of my friends because I saw his postcard at my daughter's dance studio. And I was like, fucking boom shakalaka. I didn't say that, but I probably was thinking that. And I was like, there's somebody local who does contest prep. Went to his supplement store and I told my friends, I'm like, you guys come with me. I'm nervous. I'm scared, blah, blah, blah. We go in. He basically looked me up and down. And he's like, everybody says they want to do a show. And I was like, And it was almost like, because he said that to me, I was like,
you wanted to do it more?
I'm going to do it.
Of course.
So I signed up for 3 months of personal training, went 3 days a week, never missed a beat. And my girlfriends did it with me. After 3 months, they were gone.
Right.
And I was typical. Like, nope, I'm addicted. So at that point, it was 3 times a week for 2 years. And I think I only missed 1 week when we went to Hawaii for vacation. But point being is, I don't know what the point was.
You're on a tangent right now.
I know. Sorry. I don't know what if I can tell you.
Competing is great. It is hard.
Yes.
It is difficult, but it's very rewarding when you get to stage and you take those pictures and you look back and you're like, look at all this fucking hard work I did. And I'll tell you right now, it is hard work. It is a second, third fucking full-time job. However, do not compete unless you are getting your labs checked. Please do not go on a diet if you are not getting your labs checked. If you are a woman and you are over the age, actually not even over the age, if you are feeling like you need to get your labs checked, get them fucking checked. Like even my young girls in their 20s, what is it going to hurt to get labs pulled and make sure that you're doing well? Because I bet most of y'all have been on birth control for 10 years, something like that. I was on birth control for almost 20 years. And I know that was a reason that, my body doesn't work the way it's supposed to. Also, my years of dieting and, being overweight. That's also another thing that's going to throw my body off. My body also only has 1 ovary, y'all. That is another thing. Okay. Yeah. So all we're really trying to say is do what you want to do. We can't say enough about HRT. We think that's a great place to start. If you are wanting to be a bodybuilder and you're going to dabble in PEDs, we also want you to get your labs pulled and go through a good source. Do not buy it from the guy at the gym.
Yes.
And this is your choice. Do not feel like you have to do PEDs to compete. That is not what we're saying, okay? We're just sharing the knowledge of what we know, letting you know what we think, and you can take what you want with that.
I absolutely 1,000% would not take any of my bodybuilding journey back, okay?
Oh, no.
All the shows, all the cardio, all of this was sweat, blood, and tears, and all the sacrifices. Had I not done any of that, I would not be here
I feel like
be able
it's
to
built me.
Yeah.
It's built me.
I wouldn't be here to share the experiences and obviously coach clients. And I wouldn't have built my strength and foundation of like who I am today. I think I still would have been a bad bitch, but I wouldn't.
Of course.
You know, I feel like when you put yourself up against that intense of a goal and you actually do it and then you do good at it, you're like, fucking, I could do whatever. I can build an empire.
I could do anything, honestly. I do believe in myself enough that I think that I could do anything. And I feel like it did really ramp up a little bit after doing that first prep. And even looking back in all of the years that I had to go just to get to the first prep, to the first show, then to the second year in prep, you know, it's a long journey and it's a lot of really ups and downs, but they're all very rewarding and can't wait to do it again.
And that's a wrap, folks.
All right. Bye.
Boss bitch. Thank you for listening to Boss Bitch Radio. It would mean the world to me if you could rate and review the podcast. If you could give us a 5-star review on iTunes, drop us a little comment. We will read those and we offer prizes as a ethical bribe for you to leave us some great mojo and words of affirmation. You know, that is my love language. And also, if you're over on Spotify, you can rate and review it there as well. All of this helps other women, other people, other folks see us, hear us, and learn from all of the amazing boss bitch tools and hacks and hopefully get some LOLs. And if not, if anything, if you could share this with one person, I'd love you forever. And I know you are just here for my undying love. And last but not least, please, 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 please come find me over on Instagram so we can be buddies. We can be Insta fam over there. I am Diane Flores _IFBB_pro. Come say hi, drop me a DM, let me know what you think of the podcast. I'm always open for new suggestions and feedback as well. And I hope you listen again soon.